Hey, what's up everyone? John here with WebDev for you, here to help you build awesome websites without code in Webflow. Welcome. Yes, if you're new to these live streams, I do these every Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central, where we go over everything related to Webflow and web design and development. So I cover how to build entire sites in Webflow, how to create animations and interactions, and we cover kind of general web design and development concepts like grid, flexbox, and just best practices in general. So if you were at my live stream yesterday, we are rebuilding the Taylorswift.com website in Webflow. So I kind of designed it here in Figma, just a rough sketch in Figma. And so this is the Taylor Swift, the actual website. And I just thought it was a bit not good in a way. Like, I know that's probably not the best way to say it, but the sections on her website are images, and that's like a website, like you can't really do that with websites. It have images, because search engines can't read the text in the images. And when I first saw the site, I couldn't believe that it was her actual website, so I wanted to rebuild it in Webflow. Obviously it's nothing too extravagant, but I just wanted to quickly show how you can make a much more user-friendly site in Webflow, and we can do it quickly. It doesn't require a lot of time necessarily to build a much nicer website in Webflow. So for the rest of the week, this is what we're going to be working on. We are going to add e-commerce to the site, because on her website she has products, and she has this video. So we're just going to make it a lot better for sure. And so today we're going to add this section where she has kind of her CD and the vinyl. Hey Manuel, I talked about no code a little bit. It was super dope. I mostly saw I want to call it the keynote, like that first video where they mentioned, where Vlad talked and a few other members from Webflow talked about the new features. So like memberships, subscriptions, logic flows, the new filters. We did talk about that yesterday. I touched upon it a little bit. I did attend Timothy Rick's breakout session, which was really great. I like how he thinks and how he approaches design. So that was a really fun breakout session during No Code Conf. All right, cool. So what I have planned for today, we're going to create some better mock-ups of her CD and her vinyl here. So if we go to Envato Elements, Envato Elements is just a great place to find assets, and there's a link in the description area below to these assets or to the Envato Elements subscription. So, hey Joey Joe, how's it going? So I'm just gonna type in CD mockup, and we'll find a good one here. So let's see. I kind of like this one. Excuse me. And we'll work with this one. So I just have to download it, and let me show it in my Finder here. And it's just a PSD file, so it's a Photoshop file. And all we have to do is replace the image. So I just have to double click here and drag the image in this area. So I downloaded the Taylor Swift album cover art, which I think is this one. I'm just going to drag and drop it in here, and I think I just have to make sure it covers the entire section. Oh no, actually, never mind. Let me undo that. I have to double click in here, I believe. So let's see. Let's try that again. Okay, your image here. I think this should work. Just gonna try this. And actually it should fit within something like this. Okay, I think I just have to save it. Go back in here, and no, that was not it. Let's see. Placeholder. CD base. Here, let me try this. Oops. Your design here. Just bear with me for a moment while it needs to be a mask, so the image, so let me create a new layer and put the image in here, and let's see, how do you do the mask? All right. So Kevin wrote, I did not listen to some Swift after. Yeah, neither did I, for sure. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, if anyone's proficient in Photoshop, I'm trying to get this. I know there's a way to do it. It needs to be not a mask, but I need to place it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, perfect. Okay. And let's go back in here, and I should be able to make this image. Yeah, hit Command T. And we'll do something like this. Yeah, it's not perfect, but yeah, something like that will work. Okay, and hit enter. We're gonna remove that. Actually, place that's an image, so yeah, we'll just remove that. You can make a selection from the CD shape by clicking with command on the CD shape. Gotcha. Okay, yep. Yeah, that's good. All right, thanks, Manuel. Yeah, I just wanted to put the image. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And let's go to the CD case, which is right here. And I'm gonna add a different image because the other image wasn't large enough, and it was kind of too small, so it was gonna look pixelated. Okay, let's take a look. That's not bad. I just don't like this image. This image is like pixelated, or like it's a small image. Like I really had a hard time finding a good quality image, so I'm actually thinking of replacing this image with this one. It's a bit better. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's a much higher quality image, and I just like it a bit better. I don't want a background, so I want it to be transparent. I think the shadow is okay. No, I kind of like it without the shadow. We'll remove the shadow here. All right, so that's going to be our image. And let me see if I can change the canvas size. Let me quick export it as a PNG. So export. Hey, what's up, Dylan? Let's do export, quick export as PNG. And yeah, we'll just save it to the downloads. All right, doesn't look bad. Cool. There's just a lot of, I might have to change the canvas size to, would it be 2000 by 2000? Okay. I wish it had like, or is it trim? Transparent pixels. Perfect. Yep, that's what I was looking for. Export, quick export as PNG. Replace. All right, perfect. So now we'll go into Webflow and we'll add this CD section. So here, the way it's set up, it has the image of the CDs and then it has what the CD includes. So I'm thinking for this, I'm gonna put a heading. So it's gonna be an H2 heading. And for the video wrapper, I'm gonna add some margin from the bottom. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention. So yesterday I mentioned making this position sticky. And yeah, I was able to do it, and it's actually quite simple. So what you want to do to make this side position sticky is that the main content wrapper has to have more height, and then we can select, so this is called main content right. I gave it a specific width and height, and I set it to position sticky and 60 pixels from the top. And when I scroll, this stays here, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted this to always be visible, so the user could either buy the album on Amazon or listen to it on Spotify. So we scroll, it stays in place, and great. So here I'm just gonna write album, and then yes, we have that. We have the short film, we have the album, and I'm trying to think of the format I want to use for this. So we'll do album, and then I'll add another heading. We'll make this H3, and I'll call this CD version. And we'll say, or actually before I do that, let me, in the main content wrapper, let me add a div block. And we'll put it below the video wrapper, and this will be called album_wrapper, just to keep it organized. And then we have the H2 in here, and then the H3 will be album_heading, and then we'll set it to normal and red. Okay, so we have the CD version, and then here I want to add a list item. Or a list, excuse me, a list. CD version, a list, okay. Then we have CD version includes, and I'll just grab some of this text. So we have exclusive album booklet with never before seen photos, artwork, and lyrics for the 9 songs from the vault. CDs will be delivered starting November 12th. Okay, so then for this we'll say album list item, and for the list we'll call it album_list. Alright, so we just have to style the list item, so let me call all of these album list item, and this one as well, album_list item. And let's add some margin from the bottom and the top, maybe 20, make this a lot larger, maybe 18, and the color will be red. Okay, so just a nice neat list here, and I think, let's see, album list, I think I want to include the image before, so let me grab it, just drag it and drop into Webflow. Oh, it looks very large, so let's open it and resize it. Yeah, it's too large, probably just 1,000 in width. It's not going to be that big. Yeah, this is too large. We're going to delete it, drag and drop. Hey, how'd you fix the sticky part? Yeah, great question, Eric. So with sticky, you need the parent element to have more height. To have a specific height, basically some scrolling height. So to the main content wrapper, I added 300 VH, and then to the main content right, I just set it to sticky, and then it worked. I also gave the main content right a specific width and height, but I don't think it needs it to work, or yeah, it actually does need it to work. So a height that's less than the parent element, and then it works. All right, so we have that. It's much smaller. Okay, cool. That looks great, actually. I like how that looks. So we'll have this album_CD image, and we'll add some margin to the top and the bottom. Maybe some like 40, and maybe the album like this. Okay, perfect. I like that. All right, that looks much better, and it's nice and pretty crisp. I do like that. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Good stuff. Yeah, so just by adding some nicer images and formatting the text a bit better, right? Like if we look at her website, like this is just text in an image, and it's just not, I mean, like even reading it is not great, right? But if we have, elements that are easier to read, it's much better. All right, and let's add a call to action as well. I can add this button here, and you know what? Just to kind of encapsulate each section. Let's see here. So we have album wrapper. Yeah, this list should go in the wrapper. Yeah, and then below there we go. And this primary button should go in here, and something like that. The album list, we'll add some margin there, and Let's see, album wrapper. Yeah, this primary button should go in here. Okay, great. Nice. Then we'll give it a display setting of flex, vertical, and left. Yep, I would want this button to be aligned to the left, so primary button and output is album. And we'll remove this margin from the left. And yeah, the padding should be 40. Okay, buy on Amazon. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And so we have the video short film wrapper. So I'm thinking for each of the wrappers, we can add a border radius, a border with a radius to it. So we're using 30, I believe. Yep, 30. And then we'll add some padding to the wrappers. So maybe something like 20. And same for this album. And we're just trying it out, right? I'm just trying some design concepts here. And short film wrapper, let's do 40. And padding, we'll do 20. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Let's, right, and this is just a rough draft, so we'll definitely polish it up a little bit as we continue to build. Yeah, but just having it in nice, neat sections, I think looks much better. And then for this main content, let's put it to the left. Yeah, so it's a little bit closer. We'll work on that. Ideally, I would want this element here aligned to the right, so I kind of want to work on that a little bit. But I don't want it so far from this that it looks like a separate thing. Unless, here, I got an idea. We will justify it to the right, and then for the columns, the gap will say 0. And that's still too much, so let's edit this. And let's make this 3FR. Yeah, and then the gap, will add more gap here. We'll change it back to 60. All right, nice. That looks good. John, is there a way to make the list bullets custom in Webflow? Could not figure this out yet, so I did it with background images. Great question, Manuel. Let me take a look. And I'm gonna rename this to main content heading, and then I'll say is album. And for this, I'm gonna say 20. Or actually, I don't know. Yeah, let me remove as album. There, that's better. It was too far from the top there. And I might add some more padding to the wrappers, maybe 40. And I know something I didn't do. Section content. No, I did. I added the 10 VW. All right, so yeah, that's kind of more of what I was thinking. So we have the short film, we have the album, and this stays position sticky, so the user can always click to buy on Amazon or listen to it on Spotify. All right, so far so good. Let's take a look at the bullets Manuel was mentioning. So yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if we can edit the bullets. I think, no, it's not an option yet. Can you add a div inside of a list item? I don't think you can. No. No, you can't. Yeah, it'd be nice if they had kind of like an option to have custom bullets. I mean, you could obviously do it like by adding a wrapper and then 2 divs in the wrapper, and then the first div would be a custom bullet. You could add an icon or anything like that, and then you'd have the text. But for now, maybe we'll come back to this. We'll revisit it and add some more custom design to this, but we'll just leave it for bullets for now. So I'm going to copy this album wrapper and paste. Let me add some margin to the bottom. Let's do like 40. And this will be album CD. And this will be album, or just maybe I'll just say CD. And then I'll say vinyl. Something like that, CD, vinyl. So let's go into Envato, and I'll search for vinyl mockup, and we'll create, we'll find a mockup here. Yeah, this one will work. Simple enough. It's 1.5 gigabytes. Why is it 1.5 gigabytes? That's very large. Let's try this one. Oh, this is 1.2 gigabytes. All right, I'm gonna cancel this. We'll just work with this first one. That's a really large file for a mockup, but we'll work with it. Okay, so I'll open it up in Photoshop. And if you noticed, yesterday I had this shadow on the hero image. So if I had the shadow, which I removed because I didn't like it. And then I thought about adding just a nice subtle shadow. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. So I definitely want to add something a bit more designy to this hero section. And let me remove the border to see if I like it without the border. No, I like the border. Yeah. All right, so we have the vinyl record. Let me open it. Which one do I want to use? Main file. I believe it's this one. All right. And let's open it. Okay, I don't want this weird shadow it has on it. We'll remove that. Shadows, nope. Background, nope. And the disk is fine. We don't need to change that, but let's go into here. And this is where I will replace the image. Okay. I'm holding down Shift to make sure it's proportionally correct. There we go. has this kind of nice effect to this vinyl cover. So let me save that. And let's go back in here. Nice. Let's go to the vinyl disc, and actually it should be this right here. I guess we can try to use this. Something like that, yeah. All right, and then I'm gonna image trim. Okay, didn't really trim much here. Oh, because it has a filter on it, so I had to remove the filter. Or remove that global light. I don't think we need it. Trim. There we go, perfect. All right, then I'll export this to quick export as PNG. And let's put it in the vinyl record folder. I'll resize it. Drag and drop. Still kind of large, but we'll work with that. And I'll replace this with that. Cool. We have the CD and the vinyl version. I'll say vinyl version includes. Let's take a look at the site. Okay, so nine songs from the vault with lyrics for all 30 songs. Never before seen photos. Artwork and a copy of Taylor's hand written lyrics for the 10-minute version of All Too Well. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm already liking it much more than her other site. This feels a bit wide, this section. So let me go back into grid. Or maybe I can make the max width of the container a bit smaller. Let's do 1200 for the container. And I'm gonna do container is main content, and we'll do 1200 and auto. Yeah, it's a bit better. Make sure there's no margin here. Content left, content right. No, okay. Doesn't feel perfectly centered for some reason. But I like that. I like that I set the container to something a little bit smaller, because I just felt like the content was too wide on my screen. And on large screens, the content would be very wide. So I just want it nicely down the center. And yeah. Looking good. Just doesn't feel perfectly centered for some reason. Let's see, main content, container, section content. No, it is. It is. I think it has to do with this gap, maybe. Let me change the gap to 0. No. No, I guess that works. All right. I'm just going to publish it just to get an idea for how it's looking. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to cover today. We used Photoshop to make the mockups and Envato Elements. Yeah, if you want a subscription to Envato Elements, I do have a link in the description for the video. We did leave a shadow here on this, which I don't quite like, but might revisit that. So let's do that now. I'll go to Photoshop and let's go in here and let's remove this shadow, not that shadow. The light setup is okay. I removed that shadow, that's good. The light is fine. That shadow's okay. Is it the shadow? I can't really tell. It's a shadow. I think it is that shadow. So now if I image trim, yep, perfect. File quick export as PNG. Save that. We'll replace it. Go back into Webflow. And let me grab that image. Resize it. Yep. Do you think it's good enough to send to her team, Eric? I'm just kind of, I mean, I think it's better than her site. I just, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna work on the design a bit more, maybe add some more design elements, and yeah, if I feel it's good enough, I could probably send an email or something. But yeah, compared to her site, this is, I mean, it wouldn't take much to make a better site than this. Like, yeah. And almost like, part of me is like, is this a real site? Like, but it is Taylorswift.com, you know? It is her site. The fact that they used images for yeah, for the sections is a bit daunting to me. Yep, this does feel more polished. I think I would want to work on the buttons a bit more. And the fact that this doesn't feel centered is bothering me. I don't understand. Yeah, it doesn't. Unless, let me see. Did I add some? I must have added some margin somewhere. Section container, image wrapper, overlay, content. Ah, there it is. No, that's not it. And actually for this I thought of something. I don't need to add padding here. Oh wait, maybe I do. Yeah, I do. Never mind. Yeah, okay. Section container. See, if I set the container to 1200, I think I know why. Okay. Because this container is not set to auto. So auto, there it is. Yes. That feels much better. It's nice and centered. Maybe different max width for the sections. Yeah, it was a container. It wasn't set to auto here for the hero section. And I'm gonna remove the fixed on this. I just want to see something. Yeah, I kind of like it that it's not fixed. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Maybe shadows. Like, I'll start trying to work with some shadows. Let's see, distance. Just something real subtle. And the size. The opacity, we'll make it 20. And we'll put it at 180. And distance. Yeah, it's not really noticeable, the shadow, but it's there. Adds a bit more depth to it. Yeah, I don't know if I quite like it. It feels like it doesn't need a shadow, this type of design, for some reason, but we'll remove it. And yeah, what else? Let's go. I guess we can start building out the e-commerce portion of it. So let's see. So we have the album shop, the holiday collection, while supplies last. All right, let's just skip over to the merchandise. Okay, so that's good. All right, and let me go into the main content. I'll remove this height. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's add another section. So we have the section hero, section content, and we'll have another section, and we'll call this section shop. All right, so shop, new merchandise. Okay, so we'll add a container. So div container, and I think I'm gonna make all containers 1200. We don't need that much space on the left and the right. And then for this one, for this container, I'm gonna say is hero, and we'll make this 1440. So it's a bit larger than the other containers, but kind of want it that way. All right, and then we're just gonna add a heading, and Let me see here. Yeah, I think the shop, we're gonna make it a full section, or a full, so this position sticky is gonna scroll up and then the shop is gonna come next. All right, so container, great. Let's go into, let's enable e-commerce. So let's do this. And yeah, we'll just go to products right away. So we'll add, let's add 10 items just to see if they provide pictures for the products. Yeah, they do. So let's see what her products are. So she has, and you know what? Let's just download the images straight from her site. I could have used this. I'm gonna see how large that is. You know what? I think we just spent all that time in Photoshop for no reason. Let me just double check and see that these images are large enough. So I think that would work. Except that album cover, so the quality of it, but let's just try it. We have that. Just want to see how this looks. No, I don't like that image at all. Okay. So yeah, let's go back into products, into e-commerce, and we'll just replace, you know what, I'm gonna delete all of these products because they're not really what I'm looking for. All right, so let's create a new product, and her first product on the shop is Taylorswift.com. It's a album cover heather gray long t-shirt. Yeah, and it goes to another site. It's just, and the green and the red, can somebody check and make sure there's not another Taylor Swift site out there? It boggles my mind that this is her site. Album cover heather gray long. Like, I feel it's like a fan site that was accidentally made and they just didn't change the domain or something. Let's see. Yeah, this one. So there's that. The price is $45. And cool. I'm not gonna go and add the option sets. I just want to create a collection list of products. So I might just add maybe 3 products or something for now, because we're almost out of time, and then we'll finish this up tomorrow. Album cover ringer t-shirt. And that is $40. And one more product, the All Too Well knit scarf. And that is $35. Is there a thunderstorm going on? No. It might be a jet. Okay, so let's see. Let's add a heading. Or you know what? Let's add a div. And I'm going to call this shop wrapper. And we'll add a heading in here. Make it an H2 heading, and we'll say shop merchandise. And we'll say shop underscore heading. Okay. For the section, I'm just gonna momentarily add some padding to the bottom so we have some scroll to work with. And I'll center that. Okay, cool. So now I'll go ahead and add a collection list. And we will grab it from the products. And we will add an image. Get image from the main image. And we'll make it 300 by 300. And for the collection list, let's make it, let's see, shop underscore collection list. And we'll make it grid. That'll work. And we'll just make the elements centered, okay? Cool. The collection item will add a, this will be an H4 heading, or maybe just a text block. Yeah, text block, get text from name. Let's get the name. And then we'll say shop product title. Center it, make it red, make it a little bit larger. Cool, and then we'll add the price. And we'll also say shop product title, and we'll just duplicate this and call this product price. Okay, can add some padding there. For the grid, let's go ahead and do something like 60 by 60. No, that's not quite working. Maybe flex for this, flex. Yeah. And then for each collection item, we'll just add some margin. And for the collection list, we'll say center. All right, much better. Okay, so far so good. Let's see why. Okay, there it is, 400. Section content, we're just going to add some margin from the bottom. Maybe a little bit more. All right, so far so good. We just made the shop section look way nicer. And they'll be able to purchase right on Webflow, so I can add the cart to the nav bar. And yeah. Yeah, so I think the user experience is much nicer. Like, I'm looking at her site, like just a huge image. I have to read this text. The image quality is not very good. There is this holiday collection. Wow. yeah, and we'll add this latest releases section and maybe a newsletter in the footer. We'll add a nice footer at the bottom for the site. But yeah, I think the site's coming along. Considering, I don't know if the red outline is too much. Let's see, shop wrapper. Oh, this should go in the shop wrapper. Yep. Shop wrapper, border, red, and 30. In the shop wrapper, we'll add some padding. Maybe it works. Not quite sure yet. Let's see his last. Yeah, that's better. I don't know, let me know what you think about these borders. I feel like it does. Yeah, I would want something to divide up the different sections. Yeah, starting from tomorrow, I will be in Indonesia for 2 months, so I might not be able to bother you with my questions unless I am getting up at 1 a.m. for your stream. We'll check the recordings though. Sounds good, Manuel. Have fun in Indonesia. Thanks for just stopping by and your questions. They never bother, so they're always really good questions. Yeah, so I think this is it for today. We're working on the e-commerce. I might add some add to cart buttons. We'll add the cart here tomorrow, and we'll add the footer section. And yeah, that could be what we do tomorrow. But as you can see, we're definitely making some progress here with a much user-friendly site, right? I'm going through the site. I get to watch your new video, CD, vinyl. There's a shop, merchandise. Everything's just a little bit more accessible. What I would want to do actually to add more design to it is add like a grain effect, like a nice grain overlay, because I feel there's something really vintage about her album and her look. Like these images are like a little bit vintage. So maybe I'll find like a nice dirt vintage overlay that we can sprinkle through the site to give it more texture. I think that would be kind of nice. But yeah, the last thing I'll do here before we sign off is just add more padding to the bottom here, maybe like 60. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So we started here in Figma. I started building it in Figma, and it's pretty much what I envisioned as I was designing it in Figma. Okie doke. All right, so yeah, that's it for today's live stream. Thanks everyone for joining. Appreciate everyone who comes to these live streams. I know sometimes I'm pretty quiet as I'm building, but hopefully you can pick up some things as I'm working on the site, just how I approach a website build. And yeah, feel free to ask questions. I'll be here at the same time tomorrow. We'll finish working on this site. And I think that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for the Patreon membership that's coming soon. Maybe not this week, but probably next week. All right, thanks, everyone. Appreciate all of you. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Peace.